Hello everyone, and welcome to the Deep Blue Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deep Blue Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 101. Today is Monday, August 31st, and I'm glad you guys could join me today. I figured I needed to do a little bit of, middle of week recording, so I shifted my schedule a bit. It shouldn't be too bad. It was definitely a bit of a different Monday than usual, so what can you do? But what you can see behind me are finished objects. Yay! I ended up finishing two things before I left on my trip to Michigan this weekend. So the second thing that got finished, which was on, Friday morning when I ended up flying out, is my hitchhiker. I did manage to do the full 42 points. It still needs a wash. I got back today, ended up working for working for half a day, and whatever else. So it still needs a wash. I'll probably just do the lay flat to dry to let it be all gartery and stuff. But just for the point of comparison, that's how much yarn's left over. I ended up doing a slightly different bind-off. I did my normal bind-off, which I think is Russian, which has you knit two together to get rid of stitches instead of flipping the stitch over. And I did get my 42 points, and I could get no more and no less than the 42 points. So, I'm not sure whether or not it'll stay with me. Purely just from the fact that I don't really like the way yellow looks on me. So, asymmetric, this side is a lot shorter than this side. But definitely a good size, a good scarfiness to it, and just do a little bit of fiddling with it or what is it? You just have, the fetching little thing of spikes. Or fetching little points, I guess that's what it's called in the pattern. But, yeah, so, and I'm zooming in. I don't know. I'm not normally a yellow person, but that was what it turned out to be. Most of it was in that braid, whatever the colorway Sammy. So, Hitchhiker, Martina Bem, knit in Wool My Secure in the Sammy colorway, and probably an excellent way to use this yarn. And the pooling is so crazy. Look at all that crazy pooling. You can see sort of strips that are popping out on the screen. At least I can see strips that are popping out. So different parts had different standing pools, which I think are really cool. So, yeah, I probably should update the Ravelry project page and stuff like that. Something has covered my face. I like to see myself when I podcast. What I ended up finishing Thursday morning was the Fragile Heart shawl. So this is washed and blocked in the whole shebang. I was going to bring it to my aunt in person, and then I left it pinned on in the bedroom. And it turned out, that me driving back and getting it was going to be more in tolls than it would be for me simply nail it, so I'm just going to nail it. So, it is nice and airy. I wove in the ends after I blocked it, because I totally forgot about that. I was in such a hurry to actually get it out, but I was like, ah! So, it's a crescent shape. I think it's, ended up being really pretty. I went a little crazy with the beads, so every single picot in this has a little bead in it, so you can see all of the bling. I was a little bit worried it would have a little bit too much heft, but it looks like it's going to be fine. Oh, good. For a second there, it seemed, I don't know, my computer seems to be having a hard time right now keeping up, so hopefully the sound is good on this. We shall see. So, as such, I think it ended up turning out really nice. I really like the way it blocked out. It may not be perfectly symmetrically blocked, but I'll have to take some beauty shots of it today or tomorrow. But yay! And this could be worn a bunch of ways. The crescent shape is, I think, a really easy one to wear, so you can just sort of drape it over like that and let it hang over you like so, and then you probably have a better look from the back. So this will be mailed soon, and we can go from there, or maybe I'll mail it with the baby blanket when that's done. I'm not sure. We'll have to figure that out, but not too shabby. So this is Fragile Hearts, which is a Boo Knits pattern. I knitted out of Madeline Tosh Merino Light in the Cousteau colorway, which is gorgeous. I didn't end up bringing the little ball that I had left over, but I had less than 2 left over, which meant that the 1 row of picot bind off was 7 times the yarn needed for 1 row. So I definitely used as much of the yarn as possible, and I couldn't have used any more. So excellent, 2 excellent one skein projects done with dinner. So, well, actually I haven't eaten dinner yet. I'm sort of hungry, but such is life. So those are my finished objects. So like, yay! I'm so excited to finally have finished objects. It's been a really long time, guys. Oh my gosh. I'm sure you guys know. You're like, oh man, I should have finished the things. But I have been, what is it? So because I'd finished those things, I ended up knitting a lot of squares this weekend. This is what I did this weekend. I ended up knitting 4 total squares, and I'm probably, what is it? And then I started a 5th here on the plane, and then decided to switch to the socks. So I have the start of it, so it has all my markers in it and all that other fun stuff. But I knit 3 gray squares and 1 white square this weekend, so baby blanket is coming along. And it's sort of like I'm in a rush, like, I don't know if it's a rush, but I'm now more than halfway done with the gray. And these are the squares that I had done before this weekend, which was 5. So with that, what is it? So I guess I must have had a counting fail at some point, but let's see. So this would be the case where I end up now having 8. Okay, no, that's 9. I can't add right now. It's been a long day. So this ends up bringing up the total to, well, I guess I haven't moved any ends on that one. So this means that the 5 I've done plus the 4 I've done is 9, which means that I am almost to the halfway point on this blanket. So I'm probably going to do a run and get all 8 of the gray squares finished, just so they're done. Then I have 2 more white to make, and then I have 6 more of the, what is that? So then 6 more of the variegated, but I'm probably going to save the variegated for the end, because that's more fun. So 9 squares done, almost halfway. 10th on the needles. Yeah. So this ball is starting to get a bit sloppier. There should be plenty of yarn to have 8 squares out of this ball, because they're about an ounce a piece, and the skeins of yarn are greater than 8 ounces. So this will definitely be the joining color. The natural, this gray is oyster, so this is all Miss Babs Rosa. And then the variegated, which is Moonlight Stroll. So with all of these, I should be good. The pattern is squares on a roll. I am doing a little bit of a modification because I'm knitting these out of worsted, and the pattern is actually for fingering, but I think it'll end up working out just fine. So, as the story there, I'm definitely much farther along. Really great progress this weekend, so I was really glad to get so much of it done this weekend. It was a good bit, because man, Lots of squares. So, definitely excited there. So this will probably get thrown in my bag and get carried around, especially since as the gray ball is shrinking, it's easier and easier to carry around. Let's see. And what I am working on, which I'm still working on, but definitely made some good progress on, are these socks. So these are the short row shuffle socks. I'm knitting them out of Suzanne, which is Wool Mice a Twin. I was able to put in the Afterthought heel, which is pink and sort of hard to see, since the last time I worked on it, which I don't remember the last time I worked on it. And I managed to get like another 3 inches past that, so I still have a couple more inches to go before I do the toe on this guy. And I'm probably just going to wait until I'm done with the toe before putting in the Afterthought heel. So this is what it'll look like when it's done. And so somehow there's probably some sort of neat way to actually compare where I am with respect to how much slack is done. So what is this? If I arrange it like that, and that matched up like that. So I still have a couple more inches of the foot to go, but that shouldn't be too bad. And where I put my heel lines up with where the other heel is. I was sort of like, that's why I was keeping this sock in the bag, was to show people what it actually looked like. And still have plenty of yarn. I could have made these a lot bigger, I think. So that's just right there. It's been getting some love. It'll be getting more love. It's going to be, like, whatever. Slacks are the perfect format of project, so. And I did manage to do some spinning this week, too, so that's another thing which hasn't been happening a lot lately, but finally happened. It looks like I'm halfway through a strip right now, so this is my, my Jenkins Lark, and this is Hello Yarn Falkland in the pigment colorway. So I'm making a pretty big, the cop is getting pretty big now. And it's definitely coming along. I still have a couple more of the little balls to go. Looks like I have 4 more balls to go. It seems like a session of spinning is about 1 ball per thing. I managed to do, I think, 1.5 today, and probably 1 when I was flying out, so not too shabby. But I haven't been spinning every day, so that ends up making it a little bit challenging, but I'm glad I finally got back to it. I think that is actually everything. So, it looks like I'll probably be doing another middle of the week podcast next week. I'm not sure what day, so whatever, we'll break into September somehow. I'm sure there'll be plenty of knitting time. We'll driving somewhere, driving back, camping. These are all very analog things which make them very good for knitting and stuff like that. So, hopefully, maybe I'll finally finish that stupid pair of socks. I definitely won't be finishing the baby blanket, but it was definitely very exciting. And I have 4 squares in a week, so definitely. I'm not going to be able to make the gender reveal party, so I'm not even going to try. But now that I don't have 50 bajillion projects on the needles, it'll be, I'll be done with the blanket with plenty of time and get it to my sister, and it'll be great. So, yay! I think that is everything then. So, I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week. So, take care, guys. Bye-bye.